All right? For any number of reasons that we could get into, tables can actually have multiple relationships between them, so on and so forth. But the bottom line is, regardless of anything you've defined before, for this SQL statement, you still have to, and for every SQL statement, you still have to specify how Table A is linked to Table B. And how are they linked together? Well, they're linked together by the fact that you know the faculty person belongs to the student person, where the faculty's faculty ID matches the student's faculty ID. All right? Think of how you would do this if you were doing it manually, right? If you were doing this manually and you looked at the first student on the list, Mary Adams, all right, has a faculty advisor number of faculty advisor 1249. What would you do then? You'd look through the faculty list on a sheet of paper, let's say, if you're doing this manually, for faculty number 1249 and say, oh, okay, that's Zellers. So Mary Adams' advisor is Zellers. You'd then look at the next one, and you'd match up their faculty ID number with the appropriate faculty member in the faculty list. That's what this is telling SQL to do as well. This is telling it, hey, I want data from both of these two tables, and here is how you link those tables together. You match them up. You match up the rows according to matching up the faculty ID in this table with the faculty ID in that table. Questions about this? Yes? Correct. That's student.faculty ID. Again, a column name you can specify one of two ways. You can either, sometimes, if it's the only column in the SQL statement that has that name, you can just put the name of the column. In other instances, though, if there are more than one column that have that name for the tables that you're looking at, you have to put the table name, dot, and then the column name. And that is what's known as joining tables together. And I can do this, and I can mix and match this with anything else that we've learned so far. For example, I could say, and state equals Pennsylvania, to do this only for Pennsylvanian students. I can then do this and add an order by clause to say order by student.lname, student.fname. That's the one thing we see with SQL, all right, is that we learn these basic pieces, these basic clauses, and you can use those clauses and mix them and match them however way that makes sense. I could even do this in sort of an aggregate function way. For example, here's a challenge for you. All right? Let's say we want to see, taken right on a sheet of paper, what your answer is. Using everything that we learned so far, let's say I want my output to look like this. The last name of the faculty person followed by the number of students they advise. What would be the SQL statement that would give me that? The last name of the student, of the faculty person, and the number of students that they advise. Take a second and try to write that, given these are the tables. Take another couple seconds. All right, let's analyze this and look at it one step at a time. We should all have gotten that part right at least, okay? What do we want outputted? That's what follows the word select is the columns that we want outputted. What do we want to see outputted? The faculty person's last name. So, faculty.fname. What else do we want to see outputted? Yeah. We could actually abbreviate that. We could say count star. What you had specified, count student dot star, would work as well. The count of the number of rows. All right. We know it's a count because I said how many students. I don't want to see every individual student. I just want to know how many. What's my from clause going to look like? Faculty, comma, student. There's two other things we need to do to make this work. What's the next thing we need to do? We need to do a where clause. And what would my where clause be? Exactly. Student faculty ID. We need to match up how students are associated with faculty members. And last but not least, what do we need to add on to this? Group by. And group by what? Faculty.fname. Oh, I did that because it's late at night. Sorry. Pardon me? That's what I meant to say. I was testing you. Well, it was late. Well, you see, you didn't let me finish. It's late at night, and I was testing you to see if you were still alert. All right, there we go. Yeah, you're absolutely right. That should be an equal sign.